This is a big update on the Uniform Civil Code from Uttarakhand. This is according to Uttarakhand government sources. Now, Uttarakhand UCC committee is going to be meeting, and they're also going to be holding a press conference at 1:30 p.m. today. Over 2 lakh people have been covered by the survey in the state. Most are in favor, but some are against it, as it is. There are a few concern areas that they have. Now, armed forces, widow pensioners, some of them remarry and the money goes with her, while parents of martyrs are left with nothing. There's a focus on live-in relations and child-born rights for them for the marriage age. This is, again, what sources are saying about the concerns with the UCC now coming in from Uttarakhand. Now, again, when it comes to more information that we have, what's been stated is that the Sharia law allows 13 years, but legal age as per law is 18. The rights of tribals and those are converted to. We're going to be crossing over to our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, to get us more on this. Pallavi, could you just break that down for us, the information that's coming in?
As you know, Aisha, one of the first states which really has spoken openly about implementing UCC has actually been Uttarakhand, and the Chief Minister Dhami has made this very clear. Now, there has been work which has been going on over the last couple of months where the State UCC Commission has been doing a survey across the state to get the opinion of the people. And what we are picking up is that by and large, most of them seem to be in favor of a uniform civil code. There are certain contentious areas to which some people have an objection to. Just to quickly focus on 2 of them, one, of course, is as far as the marriage age is concerned. Now, as you know, according to the central government and the rules and the laws which are prevalent here, the eligible age or the legal age for marriage for women is 18. But if you go by the Sharia law, they allow you to get married if you are above 13 years of age. And this is a concern which was raised genetically also. The children born out of such a wedlock are not considered to be genetically sound. So that was one concern which was raised, that an UCC will ensure that no child is married off before the age of 18 years. No woman is married off before the age of 18 years. That's the contention area. The other big concern which is being raised is with entire commonly prevalent practice now, live-in relationship. The concern raised also over here was, in the case of children who are born, what kind of a legal right do they have in terms of property and so on and so forth? And what kind of protection does a woman also get, for that matter, in case of a live-in relationship? We should get some more clarity what the urgency within the state government is to implement the UCC as soon as possible, even at a time when the central government is also keen to bring it into the parliament session as soon as possible, even possibly in the monsoon session beginning around the 2nd week of July.
Pallavi, a few more follow-up questions. Considering we're focusing on what Uttarakhand government sources have said about this, and there's going to be a meeting, a press conference as well at 1:30, is it possible, semantically, for the Uttarakhand government to go ahead and implement UCC without waiting for anything else?
They can announce that they are going to be implementing the Uniform Civil Code, but at the end of the day, this also requires a constitutional amendment. Okay. It has to go back to Parliament, and the Parliament also has to clear it. That's the way it really works. Now, in Parliament, in Lok Sabha, no problem area at all. In Rajya Sabha also, the government is pretty confident because they know that they could be split within the opposition ranks also. For example, Aam Aadmi Party has already made its support for UCC clear. Parties like, say, YSR or BRS or even BJD are also likely to end up supporting the bill, or even if they abstain, it helps the government to clear the bill. So this is going to be the big ticket legislation which the government hopes to bring in the new parliament building beginning possibly on 17th of July, and certainly ahead of the critical state elections as well as the Lok Sabha ones in 2024.
Absolutely. Pallavi, one more question for you. Now, considering that the monsoon session of Parliament is going to begin roughly in a few weeks, as you mentioned, and considering that there are 10 plus parties who are against the implementation of UCC, what are we likely to see take place in Parliament?
See, by first week of July, I think the Law Commission's survey would be over. You remember they've given 30 days time for all the suggestions to come in. That time will be over. 3rd July, the Parliamentary Committee is meeting. So those recommendations will come in. As of now, the government has more or less created a framework. They're just waiting for the final report of the suggestions as well as the survey to be conducted. And the government feels that, making a law will not be so difficult. The idea could also be that just introduce the bill and leave it for voting and passage possibly at a later parliament session. So that is, I think, a big ticket legislation which the central government is looking at. But more importantly, Aisha, this becomes a very politically charged up issue. It leads to a very contentious, polarized, two different stark points of view. And the BJP has already made it a point that this is something which can help in women empowerment. And that could be a big ticket win for them in the state elections, but also in the Lok Sabha.
Absolutely. Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a more comprehensive understanding into this.